pushing myself to the. Yeah, I must be blind cause the way that it's looking, I'm trying, but I don't see no competition.
Take two, because I can't lie to y'all, as I previously stated in other episodes. All right, culture crossover.
Yes,
I don't know if this is a Fast Food and Furious or not. We're in the car, but I don't think this is one. I think this is an episode, right?
Yeah,
this is just an episode.
Like,
we just happened to be in the same area at the same time, so we thought we'd record. But we're going to talk about something very, 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 very important.
Tell them.
J. Cole's interview run right now. He was on Cam. He was on Apple Music with Nadeska, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was out there with Carmelo Anthony with 7 p.m. from Brooklyn.
And
what? What else?
And who else? Cam.
And Cam. I said that.
Cameron. Oh, you did? I thought you said.
I said it real quick.
I'm just checking.
Let's get into it. We're just going to talk about the interview. It's kind of just a blind reaction.
Into it. You had
blind reaction.
You had some, like, thoughts on it, so hit me with your notes.
All right, the funny part, the first one, I took notes this time. This is very rare when I take notes. AI took notes. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Okay, the funniest thing, the trailer was so funny for Cam's interview.
Yeah.
With he just starts the interview and he's like, "What's up?" When Cole walks in, "Hey, what's up?" That shit was so intriguing.
The lawsuit, man.
So I was excited. A lawsuit for real, man. And they talked about it, and I actually appreciate both of their opinions. That, like, Cole was wrong about it all, right? Like, he was kind of just, like, in the wrong, where, like, he wasn't planning well. He pushed Cam off to the side, like, 75 times at that point, right? For, like, years. It wasn't, like, 6 months. It was, like, 3 years at that point.
Yeah.
But, and then, Cam was just like, I just want to get your attention, because at this point, like, the industry is the industry. They don't know each other like that, so... It's pretty cool that they squashed it. I always hated that was a thing, especially like with like Cam's come up in like in like in the media industry, and then obviously as a Cole fan. So I'm glad that got squashed, and it was really nothing.
Same.
So it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was like the funniest like interview.
Yeah.
Trailer.
I like that Cam like really just like allowed J. Cole to like put it all out, like explain the whole story from his perspective without interrupting him. Yeah, he just let him talk. Great. And that made me understand, like, Cole's an overthinker like me.
Yeah.
Cole, like, he didn't leave anything out. Like, he talked about from the very beginning and then, like, said his piece on it, but filled in, like, all the entire timeline.
Yeah. He, in both interviews, he did that, where he, like, talked through the entire timeline, and every time he was asked a question, he was very thorough. And he gave you kind of like the behind the scenes. It's like he talked about it in the Cam podcast, but in general, he talked about, remember the podcast he did with, he made a podcast about pretty much all his music and stuff for the 10th anniversary of 2014 Force Hill Drives. I ended up buying, you have to buy it. So I ended up buying it.
I don't think I saw that.
I ended up buying it. I only went through the first, it's like 9 hours of them just going through, him and Ebe just going through hours of like everything that they had.
Wow. Damn.
So like that's how it's been recently, where he's giving you a great, like, fans a great, like, behind the scenes. So it's been pretty cool.
Dope. Yeah, you could, I mean, he always seems like he like, just as much like enjoys talking about the behind the scenes as much as he does like sharing his music. So I'm glad he's kind of on this like interview run right now.
Yes.
Filling in answering all the questions.
And I'm glad he did it after the album came out. It makes a lot of sense because one, they're talking about the music, but they're also going back to the beef. Like, even though that was like years ago at this point, they're going back to it. But okay, before we go to the point that we want to talk about, which is like the beef and all that stuff, I'm gonna just name drop the few things that he talked about outside of that. Okay, on the Mello episode, I don't know if you got to this point, but he was talking about when he was at St. John's, he was going to try out for the basketball team there. And he made the first cut to be the last 10. And then apparently he was talking about how he woke up that morning for like the second round of tryouts. And he decided not to go because he was like, if I go to these tryouts and I make the team, my music dream will pretty much be gone because my entire life is going to go into basketball. And I'll never, he had to make a decision that morning, right?
Okay.
If this is what he's going to do. And it was a pretty cool story, like, where he talks about, like, he was damn sure he was going to make the team there. But then, like, he may not get playing time, but he's still going to put all the work in. And, like, the type of person he is that he's going to be focused. And he's going to, like, try to get to a league. If it's not the NBA, go play in Europe, get to the G League to get his opportunity. And if that had happened, man, that decision in the morning, we might not have J. Cole. That would have been crazy. We would not have J. Cole as the rapper as he is. We might have him as, like, Jermaine Cole on, like, the Washington Wizards playing, shooting guard.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't realize it was that like I didn't realize from before, I mean until now, that he was really stuck choosing between both of them. Like I thought like the basketball dreams like ended for him very early on, so that he like the music was like a sure thing that he was doing. I didn't realize like he was like a fork in the road thing for him.
I don't think it was that much, but I think it was one of the things where it's like he could have gone down the path to try to chase it and then not been successful.
Okay.
Like, so it was like he wasn't like he talks about it, he's like, you know, he wasn't the best player on his basketball team in high school. He was just like a hustle guy. He was a glue and hustle guy.
I remember that part of the interview.
So that was pretty cool. Just a random tidbit about like him in college and like how close we were to not having Cole at all.
I like that he like still found a way to like conceptually tie that in with his projects. Like I thought that was cool. So it's just kind of
he's a big basketball fan.
The duality of like, you know, he's also loves basketball.
He talks about it. He says the line in I think For Your Eyes Only. Either rap or play basketball. I forgot the line. Damn, I don't remember it. I fucking hate it. I'm going to find the line. It's going to come up right here. It probably won't because I don't like editing that much. One other thing, if we want to talk about this really quick, from the album, is the so-called Kings line about Jay-Z.
Yeah.
He cleared that up.
Yeah, okay. So you're going to have to shed some light on what all that's about. I didn't make it that far in the interview, I don't think.
Okay, so pretty much he was asked about, there was a lot of controversy or talk about
whether he's dissing Jay.
Well, he's dissing Jay, and he was talking. He came out and was like, until that uproar happened to the public, he never saw it that way. He was just talking down. He was talking from a perspective of when he was like trying to get his deal, and he was so determined to get the deal and be the greatest and everything like that like one day he's gonna be with everyone, what everyone calls the so-called Kings. Like the way he said it, and I wish we could clip that, the way he says so-called Kings and that whole line in his tone makes it sound like a throwaway as opposed to like how everyone took it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like his perspective was that he wasn't calling Jay-Z a so-called king. Right. He was saying it's like this is what everyone considers to be the king of hip hop, right? Like Jay-Z, Nas, whoever, right? And that he's gonna be there one day. That was the whole point.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like shade at all.
But like in the lyrics,
this is from Fall Off?
Yes, from Fall Off.
Okay.
In this, I forgot what song it's in, but like I can see where you make that assumption that he was taking a shot at Jay.
How?
The tone of it, the context around it. I don't have
why Jay?
Because he's the
I
one.
know the affiliation.
Yeah, no, not the affiliation. It was the point. It was in the song. He's talking about like getting his deal from the so-called king. So it's like it has to be Jay-Z.
Okay,
it couldn't be anybody else.
Okay.
In that,
I see now. But yeah, obviously he cleared that up. Okay.
I think the only other thing that's outside of the beef that happened that they talked about in the three interviews is 50 Cent, like the 50 Cent thing that apparently I forgot who took him to see 50 or like was trying to get 50 to sign J. Cole.
Right.
And he said, 50 Cent, his jeans are too tight.
Yeah.
His jeans are too tight. That's why he couldn't sign them. But it all worked out. So I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it just wouldn't make sense at all.
But they did New York Times together, the song New York Times off Born Center.
Boss was on that joint too.
On Born Center, which was pretty cool. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is from the Cam interview, right? Or you're kind of blending it from
I'm blending all three of them at this point.
He talked very in depth about the apology and stuff. Or am I jumping ahead?
I was gonna say, you wanna get into that? You wanna get into the beef? Okay.
And his perception.
Okay. So here are some of the points that I'm just gonna roll them out to you, and we can just tell me which one you want to talk about first. Okay, so let's start with where all the beef started, right? Mm-hmm. So let's start with first person shooter. Mm-hmm. So in the Mello interview, I'm pretty sure he talks about that song, First Person Shooter, from his conversation with Drake.
Yes.
It was meant for Kendrick to be in that song. It
was intended for Drake and Kendrick.
Which is wild.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. That was news to me.
Which is wild. Then apparently Drake wasn't hearing back from Kendrick, whatever, the timing wasn't working out.
Right.
And Metro Boomin told Drake, yo, get Cole on this. Told Drake to get Cole on this. Yeah. And that's how they linked up. And Cole was talking about how he rewrote that a couple times because he felt like, he just did this like Drake's just done a lot for him or whatever over throughout his year, so he like really wanted to show up for him. Nice. And it was going to be like a whole thing. So it was going to be him and, sorry, not going to be a whole thing. It was a whole thing. And to think that it was never supposed to be, like, I think the rumor is that it was going to be all three of them. Apparently, Cole squashed that and said that there was no, it was going to be Kendrick, and it didn't work out, so it ended up being Cole.
It's so weird. And then, like, just how everything unfolded from there, because that was really kind of what really set things off. Yeah. Okay, and then from there, Like That came out, right?
Yes. So Like That comes out right after First Person Shooter, right?
Yes.
And Cole talks about, I don't know if he talked about it in both the interviews or all three of the interviews, but I'm remembering, I watched the Carmelo one last, so I'm might reference that more.
Sure.
But he talks about how, like, the issue with, he was just like, not now. That was
the inconvenience of it.
The inconvenience of it all. And how, like, he put 7-minute drill out from a perspective of not to diss Kendrick or whatever, but it was for the public.
It was like an ego thing.
So that he was how he explained it was like, he explained it like, oh, like, the public won't let him put Fall Off out if he didn't respond to Kendrick.
He doesn't address it.
He doesn't address it.
Say something, right.
His plan was to drop 7-minute drill out just to say he did it.
Yes.
Let Kendrick takes a couple shots, and then just be like, okay, fine, you got it. You won. So I can drop the album out.
Yeah, yeah. So he can focus back, because Fall Off is what he really wanted to focus on. Yeah. I honestly, I respect the honesty.
I mean, I get it. Also,
he's very transparent in these interviews.
100% that, and on top of that, he, like, you've been working on this at that point 8 years.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm not gonna let everything I put into work get ruined off bad timing.
That's the main goal,
right? Like, I've been trying to do this whole thing, the Fall Off, for the entire time. I'm not gonna let, like, this little thing ruin it.
It's so funny. It all backfires.
It all backfires, and then he's like, apparently after he dropped it, he was not happy with it at all, in the sense of, like, it wasn't coming from who he is. Right. It was coming for everyone else.
I like and
that
I like this answer there too.
Him doing that, like, and then that's what happened with the apology. So for Dreamville Fest. Why am I blanking what it's called?
No, Dreamville. Yeah,
Dreamville Fest. Okay, his festival in Fayetteville, North Carolina, that he does every year.
Yes.
Drake was supposed to come. Drake was supposed to come. Drake came the year before, and, you know, they were coming off that tour, so Drake was supposed to come with the idea that Kendrick would also come, because but obviously Kendrick did not come, and that was never established. And then apparently Drake, obviously at that point, didn't come either after that, because the conversation apparently, and I might be misquoting this, is that when I was in the Mello episode interview, he was saying that, like, him and Drake kind of had a conversation before the apology that Drake wasn't going to come after that. Just from a standpoint of, like, I'm going to let you do you and not, like, interfere. Because he hadn't apologized yet.
Oh, interesting.
And then he talks about, like, an hour before, like he decided, like, the hours before, he told his wife that, like, they're not, he's going to apologize. Yeah. And she could tell, like, there was a huge weight on him and all this stuff. So, like, and stuff like that.
So that was nice, too.
Yeah, like, and then he talks about, like, how him and Kendrick, like, their wives are friends. They're like, and stuff like that, like, you know, that he did the apology and he didn't care after that. After he did the apology, he didn't care what the general public thought. And I was like, yo, staying true to yourself. That's
like, it wasn't as impulsive as it may have seemed. Like, he thought it through. At least right before he got up on stage, he put some thought into it.
And I forgot who said it in the interview, and it clicked for me. The people that have been Cole fans from the very, very beginning, right? Mm-hmm. You matured with him, right? Like, when he came, he's 41. I am 36. Don't dox me. But, right? I'm going to be 36 this year, right? Like, we're in the same places in life to some extent, right? That I've grown at the same time he's been growing, right? So I've seen the maturity, and I've gone with that maturity as well, right? Mm-hmm. So the apology, at first you're disappointed, but then when you hear the reasons, even in the beginning, I was like, that's fine. Especially when the beef turned into what it turned into, I was like, that's fine. Like, you don't want to be a part of that. It's good, right? And the people that didn't let him off the hook, didn't grow up with him in the same way, right? You weren't a fan from the beginning, and you didn't see all the maturity, so you won't get it. You'll never get it. And for him, it wasn't even about his core fans or anybody that's for himself, but, like, I think a lot of his core fans were like, that's fine, dude, you're just mature. And we're all mature too now.
I think he did a great job of just, like, shedding some insight to where, if you didn't understand his reasons, like, this should have cleared it up. These interviews should have just cleared it up. And I already kind of understood it, and, like, I didn't, like, I didn't really judge him for it when it first happened.
I did at first because I thought I wanted it because I didn't know what was gonna happen.
Because like my initial thought was like I feel like it's not in his heart, and you could tell, and he was very passionate about it at the time. Obviously, from a hip hop perspective, you wanted him to be competitive, but you could tell like it didn't sit right, and it wasn't kind of like, and it created room for the other two to go at it.
Exactly. I think it all worked out for sure.
Yeah.
I think he talked about. Go ahead. My bad.
I don't think like it's not fair to look at it. I mean, people could have their opinions. It's not fair to look at it from such a singular perspective because, again, we've never really had like a Cole before to kind of have that other narrative in a hip hop scenario like this, and I think it's important for balance in like the hip hop ecosystem. You can't always just have it be this way and this way. There's got to be like sometimes there is gray area, and in this day and age when everything's digital, your whole life is out there for like if you're like on a status of a Cole, like your private life, your family, kids. Like, you kind of have to take all those things into consideration before you jump off the ledge.
Yeah.
Off of just ego, you know?
And also just knowing that the decision you made never needs to be final. You can make another decision. You can backtrack. And that's life. Fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to double down. Not everything needs to double down. You'd be like, yo, my bad, and keep it moving. You know what I mean? Oh, shit. Sorry. The other thing... The next stop in the timeline pretty much was, the Fall Off comes out, right? Mm-hmm. And he talks about how the apology and, like, the whole thing was a great thing because he was talking about how, like, he getting sick of making the album, The Fall Off, right? He was losing, like, passion for it all.
Yeah.
And it, like, kind of reignited, like, because then, like, he was frustrated at that point, but then he had to take, like, Kendrick was supposed to be on the album. He had to take him off now at this point, right? And make new music to it and things like that. And he talked about, like, throughout the process of, like, how some songs are meant for the Fall Off, but they didn't go in there because he's like, I need to drop them now. So, like, one of them was Middle Child. Middle Child was actually meant for the Fall Off, but he was like, no, I got to drop this now. And I think the Climb Back from Off Season was also one that was supposed to be for the Fall Off, but he was like, I got to drop this now. So, it was pretty cool. I mean, like, I think it all worked out. It all literally worked out.
Good for him, man.
It all worked out, and, like, seeing Cole, like, do these interviews is awesome. And he went to, like, it worked out also because he went to, like, some of my favorite, like, media people now because they're not, like traditional media, like, radio or whatever.
Those two guys that have a podcast on YouTube, you talking about them? Because he just did an interview with them, some, like, a hip-hop...
Who?
Forget the dude's name. These two dudes who are like they have a hip hop podcast and they.
Me and you? Is it you and me?
I guess me and you.
Is it CXC?
Yeah, but where's Cole? Where's our Cole interview if that's the case?
Damn it, Cole!
All right,
I
it doesn't matter. I think.
No, my point just was that like Melo doesn't come from media. Cam doesn't come from media. Mm-hmm. Nadeska does come from media, but like still, like comes from hip hop media as opposed to just like traditional media. Mm-hmm. And it was cool to see him do those interviews as opposed to just going to like the radio and doing like the corporate one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the corporate one. So it was pretty cool.
As long as it was him talking unfiltered and honest about the topics like he is now. Yeah. I know that the Nadeska one I knew was going to be maybe a little bit more polished. I didn't really actually watch that one.
I watched most of it at this point now, but like...
But what I really wanted was the one that he did with Cam, and then now the Carmelo one I still have
in my opinion, the Melo one was the best one. Shout out to Carmelo. Like, Melo has like... I love his podcast. I don't watch every episode. There's too much content out there, but like every time it's somebody I give a shit about that's on there, it's always been fucking dope of a podcast. So, and also Cam. Like that's not to say Cam isn't great too, but like from a person that loves the NBA, to see Melo go from playing basketball to this and doing it so well, shout out to him, man.
Yes, sir.
That shit was awesome. Okay, one last thing.
Yeah.
I feel bad for LeBron. I just want to throw this out there.
Why?
So apparently, Bron was photographed having the vinyl.
What's the story behind that?
So he had the vinyl while he was going to the game, and he's been known to like bring books, read a page, and then like never, read like a million books, but whatever, right?
Okay.
So people have been clowning him on this, right?
Yeah.
So now he's bringing a vinyl record to the game, and people are like, what the fuck is this, right? Cole cleared it all up. So apparently at the Heat game, or at either the Heat, at a Laker game, I guess, Cole had reached out to LeBron, going like, his older son, he's a huge LeBron fan, right? He's like, can you meet him, right? He like did the thing where he asked, can you meet my son, like make his day type thing, make his life. So he did that. So LeBron was just bringing in the vinyl so Cole could sign it. That's all it was. But the Twitter and like the internet went in on LeBron.
Why though? Why?
Because a lot of things LeBron sometimes do is performative.
Performative,
right?
Yeah,
sometimes it is. Like when he's reading like Harry Potter with the Harry Potter books coming out or whatever. I'm like, bro, you're not reading Harry Potter before the fucking no. You might be reading Harry Potter, okay? But you're not reading it before Game 7, okay? You're not doing it before Game 7. What the fuck?
That's facts.
Right? Like, stop.
Well, I was gonna compare it to like him rapping in the car and getting the lyrics wrong.
That's fine. We all do that. I do that constantly on this show.
Yeah, but
that's fine.
LeBron specifically, just like constant.
What, he's better than me? What, he's better than me? Just kidding.
Huh?
What, LeBron's better than me? We have to be so critical of LeBron and not me? I don't know what I'm saying, dog.
It was good.
All right. Anyways.
Anything else?
I'm looking here.
On that?
I don't think so. Okay. Last one. I showed you the clip before we left about the GOAT. If he thinks he's the best rapper alive, and he shouted out Black Thought, Lupe, a few other guys, and I think it's impeccable timing that he said this about like
MJ thing?
And MJ say that there's no such thing as a GOAT. Sorry, there's no such thing as ghosts or the GOAT, which is what timing of the world.
That is crazy.
And for like the actual GOAT in MJ, right?
Yeah.
One of the GOATs as athletically, right? Mm-hmm. To accidentally validate what you just said, fucking serendipity. I don't even know what that means, but I think that's what it is right now. Serendipity.
Timing couldn't have been any more perfect. And
wow.
I thought,
I loved how he said it. Like the way he said it, like, yo, like some days
MJ, right?
No, not MJ. Actually Cole, because he was like, when I put the cape on, I gotta feel like I'm the best, right?
Yeah.
I may be able to give you my best 80 bars. But there's any given day, Kendrick, Drake can give me their best 80, and I don't have the 80, right?
Right.
And he's talking to Melo when he's talking about this. And he's like, there's days where you might put up 50 on a guy, but there's days someone's gonna put 50 on you, right? It fucking happens, and I love that response.
Yeah,
there is no GOAT.
Yeah, the honesty again, and the
that's why I love Cole,
realistic.
Man. That's why I fucking love Cole. That's why I fucking love him.
Yeah. He's not putting on a mask. He's just telling you like it is. Yes. Like this is the truth.
Dude, fuck yeah, it was so good. Such a good fucking.
I like those interviews.
But all right, anything else?
Not on that, because we have some other stuff.
We have another one. Jay-Z also dropped interviews, so that's also going to come out like right after this, right? I'm editing these back to back, like 96, 97. All right, y'all. Make sure you subscribe. Holla at us.
Pushing myself to the limit. Pushing myself to the... Yeah, I must be blind cause the way that it's looking, I'm trying, but I don't see no competition. I got success in my future, man, how do I know it? This prophecy, no premonition.